Welcome to the Embrook School. We filmed this in one go, in one take, so that you can experience the school as it is on a normal day. We hope you enjoy it.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Emmbrook School. My name's McSweeney and I am the head teacher. I'm joined by my colleague Horne.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Embrook.
And she is our head of Year 11, and together we are going to take you on a tour of the school. Now, we know that this isn't as good as you coming and visiting the school, and the reality is that I love taking people on tours of this school because it is always exactly as we would hope it to be. It's a calm site, an orderly site, it's productive, lessons are happening and learning is taking place. So given that we can't have people on the school site, what we're going to do is attempt a one-take walk around the school so that you get a feel for the school. I happen to know that this is Year 11, so we'll pop in. Morning everybody, how are we doing?
Good morning, sir.
What are we doing today?
We are, ask a student, sir. Highlight agree on the board if anyone.
I will ask Connor. Connor, what are we doing this morning?
We are doing algebraic with demonstrating identity or I can't explain it, I'm very bad.
You did a brilliant job. We'll get out before you... Yeah, we'll get out. Thank you everybody. Right, so the point of this is really to show you the school and give you a sense of the atmosphere of the school. So it's a live school, it's period 1, it's just a normal day, and lessons are taking place. That was a Year 11 lesson, that's Year 11, we've got
Another Year 11.
Year 11, so Year 11 are in maths. We'll pop upstairs because computing is also taught in this block.
Shall I talk a bit about Year 11?
Miss Horne is here as in part because otherwise it's me talking for a while, which is more than anybody needs, but also because she's a head of year, so she brings a different experience of the school. So yeah, why don't you talk about Year 11?
Yeah, so being part of the pastoral system, we have the heads of year who lead up each year group, but we then have form tutors. So when you join the school, you're put with a form group, and then you get your form tutor, who is your first port of call in the morning. So you go in and you meet with them, and you will sit and do sessions with them. There's always different resources sent out. We follow our character education and relationships and sex education set by the government. So we've got all of that going on in form time. But the best thing about it is just that you've got a member of staff that you know is supporting you and championing you throughout the school. So
That's
the
correct.
pastoral system is fab here.
Thank you.
Even though I would say that because I'm part of it.
You would say that, but it is absolutely true. You may not have noticed, but as we've gone down that corridor, we have passed 3 or 4 classes there of Year 11s, just getting on quietly learning. And that's why we want to make this video, because that's what this school feels like when I walk around it every day, which I do. And I'm really frustrated that we can't have people come in and get the fantastic feel that we have here at the Embrook. This is the best we can do. So by doing it in one take, we hope that you get that sense of what the school feels like. We haven't set anything up, there's nothing special. The only thing we have done is to make sure that we had a couple of classes that we've been able to check the photo permissions for. And that is because we take safety of the students really seriously here, and if parents have said to us they don't want their children to be part of our publicity materials or their images to be used on the internet, we want to make sure that we respect that. So therefore we're avoiding going into most of the classrooms, because most of our classes have at least one student whose permission we don't have to use. We have checked a room at the beginning and a room at the end so that we can make sure that you do get to at least go in to see what's happening, get a feel for what's happening in those classrooms. Other than that, we really are just walking around the school, seeing what we see, and you are seeing what we see as we see it. I will just introduce the third member of our tour, who has the hardest job this morning. We're just walking around talking. Mr. Johnson is on the camera, and he is attempting to walk backwards the whole morning. Do we have a lesson in there? So, no, just some colleagues getting on with their work. We are now in the science block. So we started the tour in the maths block, which is the newest part of the school. We're now in science. We teach triple science, so biology, chemistry and physics all the way through the school up to and including A-level. In maths, we also teach further maths at A-level, and we teach additional maths to GCSE for the top set students. Again, now up on the top floor of the science building. It is an older building, but it's not what the building looks like that's important, it's what's going on inside it. And what I hope you're picking up on the camera, we've got a couple of classes here. Year 7, just active, good atmosphere, learning is taking place. We go down through here. Miss Horne, just for added fun, we have to try and keep socially distanced. And again, hopefully you are picking up on the audio, the calm, the quiet, the productive, the learning. This is one of my favourite rooms in the school, simply because I always think it feels a little bit like a film set. It's our science prep room. And again, we're now passing classes on either side of us here. And it's good, productive. This is, we've got year 13 chemists in there, engaged in practical. Year 9 class there, doing physics. Again, as an education professional, as a head teacher, this is exactly what I want to hear as I go around the school. It's a really good atmosphere.
Lovely atmosphere.
Really
yeah.
good. Lots
That's one of the biggest things as well as a year leader. I like to try and get around the school and see what's going on. And it's one of my favourite things to do. It's the best part of the day. To go around and see what's going on in the lessons and make sure that everyone's all right with what's going on. And it's always so calm.
Now, it's quite a big site, so that's our rule this morning, so that we don't end up with a really long video. Our rule this morning is we're going to try and not stop, because otherwise you're going to be on YouTube all day, and we're busy people, but we want you to have the opportunity to have seen all of the school and felt all of the school. We're now into another new part of the school. This is the creative and performing arts part of the school. We're not going to pause because our rule is we don't stop, but that room there is quite an important room. I always make sure I include it on any tour of the school. It's our prep room, and it's where essentially our behaviour team support students. The reason I always show it is because it's always calm, it's always orderly. Maybe if we just have a quick look around. This is an example of one of our workshops. So we're in this building. There's a huge range of subjects taught: art, drama, media, design and technology, food technology,
music, just across the corridor.
In fact, should we go and have a look in music?
That's how it's always a good place to go, isn't it?
If we're lucky, we have a lesson. Not that we're able to go into it because of that photo permissions issue. We were really, it was a really nice thing. One of the first things I was able to do as head teacher was invest some significant resources into the music department. So for me, keeping the curriculum broad is so important. And we've worked really hard to keep that breadth in the curriculum, to create, especially, of course, the academic subjects are really important. But for so many students, and you know, my children included in that, those creative subjects, those option subjects, those are really important to them. So we've worked really hard to keep our investment in music. Down there is, I can see here, but we can't go in for the photo permissions, is a really great looking music lesson. I'm not quite sure what they're doing, but I think they're working on rhythm.
Yes.
Let's say they're working on rhythm. I'm not a music teacher.
The other thing about music is that we have a company come in and they create rock bands.
I don't.
You knew that?
So they're doing some rhythmic clapping. Very good. I'm not musical. Sorry.
Yeah, so we have a company come in and they create sort of little rock bands with some of our students, and they set up and they all get their own little role in the rock band, and that is something that is always used at concerts, and that is one of the absolute highlights of the school, I think, is the concerts.
I love them.
They're amazing. I actually got a bit emotional at the last Christmas one because it was so special and seeing all of the talents that were there.
It really is. No, it really genuinely is. And we have a lower school concert, an upper school concert, a Christmas concert, and a summer concert. So we're now passing by food technology.
One of the best things is the art as well. Up on the walls, all around the school, we have art everywhere to try and celebrate all the things that our students do and that creative side of the school as well. So this corridor was recently painted to make it a bit more airy, so the art is still going up, but these are some new ones that have gone up from students last year. So it's nice to be able to celebrate all of that.
And again, as we've gone down that corridor, we've passed another couple of lessons, but it is really very nice, very quiet, very productive. This is our drama studio. It sounds like there is something going on in there. That's great, so that's year 7, doing drama. I wish we could go in and show you the studio, but we can't. We'll go through the hall. We'll go through the hall on this tour. I wish we could go in and see the drama studio in action. It's a really great resource. But if you go onto our website and click into our open evenings and tour section, you can see 360-degree photos taken from lessons all over the school, and that includes a really good look at the drama studio. I believe that's a year 7 class, and they're using props to create. What's it called where you all have to freeze?
A tableau.
Oh, very good. Very good.
My GCSE drama is coming back to me.
Well, in fact, do you mind if I
Tell the story.
Tell the story. So, part of the reason that Miss Horne is on this tour is because you're a fantastic head of year 11, but also Miss Horne is a former student. So, we're on a business department outing here. So, I arrived in the school 15 years ago as the head of business. Mr. Johnson, who is operating the camera now, is my successor in that role. He came to the school and trained at the school, and then Miss Horne came to the school and trained as a teacher at the school. So between us, we're getting along for something like 40 years at the school, which is quite incredible, really. But I think it shows the value of the school. We are such a community school, and people really feel sort of bought into that. Now, this is a specific part. Do you mind talking about this part?
This part, student support. So this area here is where a lot of our students who might be feeling a bit anxious or need a bit of a time out from their lessons, so that they can come down here and have that little bit of a break and then return back to their lessons when they're feeling ready to go there. So this is an amazing resource that I use for a lot of my year 11s to come down here and get that space that they might need. It works as well as the prep room. So the prep room is another area that we use for that sort of thing. Students that potentially might find 5 lessons a bit overwhelming in a day, they will often go up there and they use Mrs. Middleton and Mrs. Duarte as mentors, as well as Miss Andrews, who leads down here as a mentor too.
Right, thank you. We have bumped into somebody, and I've ambushed her, and she's very willing to be in our video. This is Isabel. Isabel is another former student of the Embrook. Now, about to go back to year 3?
Yeah, final year.
Final year at Cambridge,
Yeah.
Studying
Psychology.
So Isabel came here as a student, and why are you here this morning?
So I've been doing some kind of like volunteering work experience in student support, just kind of seeing like what goes on here, working with some students one-to-one, and it's really exciting for me because I'm hoping to train as an educational psychologist, so it's some good experience to kind of see what happens in schools, and hopefully it's helpful for you guys as well.
That's fantastic. I love it. Thank you so much.
No worries, see you later.
So that is a good bit of fortune, but again, you know, as I've just explained with Ellie and Craig here, we are a family, and we keep in touch with people. Isabel is obviously a student we're really proud of, but we have students, you know, who go to Oxford.
Yeah, it's not unusual.
We sent Victor off last year, so he's about to go and start at Oxford. And we are really a comprehensive school. So you've seen student support. We have that support for the students with special educational needs. One of the teachers that we walked past, Mr. Parry, is our High Achievers Coordinator. He did a brilliant bit of work last year supporting 3 of our then Year 9s to access scholarship places on the Wheeler programme. And that is really prestigious, really valuable way of supporting some of our students. I believe there are only 20 state school places available on that, and so for 3 of our students to take those places, it's a real testament to the quality of our students and the work that Mr. Parry was able to do with them. Do you want to pan across, sir, at the 3G pitch? I'm not the sportiest person in the world, but I'm sure Miss Horne can...
Well, I was just thinking about my Year 11s when they come out on here, so they love this for their PE lessons, and we have our Year 11 boys football club on a Tuesday after school, which is something that we have quite a lot of here, extracurricular activities, and this is always a winning place to have those activities. The students just love getting out there, but it's definitely one of the best resources, I think.
And we're really lucky to have that.
Yeah.
And it was something we were missing, to have that real high quality outdoor sporting facility was something we were missing, and to have it just kind of completes that last bit of the puzzle. Again, as we're walking around the site, just as the head teacher, with my head teacher's eyes on, there's no litter, the site looks clean, the site looks tidy, we've got a really good site team. Those little details are important. If the school is shabby, if it's not cared for, that's a problem, I think, because it sort of gets into people's mindsets. Of course we want to do more, and of course we're always looking to invest and develop the school. This is the gym, the sort of classic bit of the sporting facilities, and then if we pop next door, we've also got the sports hall. And I know this hopefully feels like we're really flying through it, but that is the point. The point is you will have, by the time we're done, you will have walked down every corridor, you'll have been into every room. Again, PE lesson in there, it looks good, looks active. And we have now got around the majority of the school. We've got two buildings to go, English and languages, and then humanities, business and humanities, our home. I'm just trying to think if there's anything useful we could still
I was just going to mention some of the opportunities for students apart from the Wheeler programme and additional maths and things like prefects on the pastoral side of it. So we've got student council that runs for every year group in the school, and they have representatives that meet quite regularly, and they meet with Mr. McSweeney as well to talk about what they want for the school. At the moment it's a bit tricky, they're having to meet on Teams because of bubbles, but hopefully we'll get back to some sort of normality soon. And then we also have prefects, so there's a new prefect system being launched at the school. And Miss Pepper, who is our leading up student council and student voice. So we've got her who is starting with that, and we're going to have sort of environmental prefects, that's where the litter side comes into it, and they're going to be doing assemblies. They're going to do assemblies on like World Water Day, things like that. And then we've also got prefects for each subject, so they're going to be subject champions for events that when we can hold them, they'll be the ones that will represent the subjects. But we'll also be ones that are responsible when those subjects are going on, making sure that everything's running smoothly in their class and that they are representing the behaviour that they need. So there's loads of opportunities at the moment, and these are all being launched in the next couple of weeks to start this year.
So on this floor here we've got English, so we've got
Year 10.
It's always difficult at the start of the year to be able to match up which year groups are now in which. And there we've got a language, which is French. And then we're passing another class there. But again, this building is full of children learning. It's really good, it feels really good. And I know we're just passing through, but that's the point. If you could come and walk around the school, you would be able to feel that. So in the school we do 3 languages. We have French and German and Spanish. French and Spanish are the subjects that we will have in year 7 next year. So we'll have 2 subjects, 2 languages in year 7, and it will be French and Spanish. We're now this is the library, but the library is also now doubling as the year 11 canteen, because we need to keep the year groups in separate bubbles. Although I have to say year 11 are really enjoying having
They're,
their
I think
own
they're like in the ownership,
place. Yeah.
of having their own space.
The camera operator will be keen for us to say that this is Mr. Johnson's classroom, so we're in the business department here, and Mr. Johnson has gone to great lengths to make his classroom look like an office. In fact, the office from TV's The Office. Right, if you are still with us, I don't know how long we've
Well
been
done,
going.
firstly.
Yeah, you are doing a great job. But we are really close now. We just have the humanities to go, and then we will stop off in the sixth form area. And again, it's worth just stopping. There's lessons going on here. Just great atmosphere, really good. That's year 7 doing RS. And I think we have now got a history room coming up that again we know we can go in because we've already checked the photo permissions. There's some sixth form lessons. Lovely. There's more history. And this is the room we can go into, so let's have a look. Hello. How are you? What are we doing today? I have that sense. More specifically?
Henry VIII and his wife. Just look at the succession and the problems that he had in his marriage.
He did what? Can somebody tell what's the big problem that Henry VIII faced? Yes, go on.
He wanted a divorce, but the Pope wouldn't let him.
Pope was not keen. That sounds like a great answer. Thank you, everyone. We'll leave you to get on.
Bye. Bye.
You know, one thing we haven't spoken about is our house system.
Oh, yes.
So our house system recently changed, and we went back to the old houses that we had in the school. So they're based on planets, so we've got Mercury, Venus, Jupiter and Saturn as our houses. So as with the tutor group, when you first join the school you get given a house that you belong to, and then everything that you do sort of counts towards points for that house. So if you're doing well in lessons and you get achievement points, they go towards your house. If you take part in extracurricular activities and you get points for that, and that goes towards it. And then we have our house competitions as well. So one of the popular ones is the Halloween bake-off and the Easter bake-off. That always goes down really well.
Yeah, we've just passed another couple of lessons. And this is what the school genuinely feels like, day in, day out. Last year, I took over 200 families on tours of the school every single morning for 3 weeks. You couldn't do that if you weren't confident about what you were going to experience when you were walking out around the school. We are nearly done. We're now under the famous covered way, which is a bit of an Embrook school icon, landmark. The last bit of the school we're going to go into is here. We can't go in again because I don't know about the photo permissions of the people in the room, but just again, I think it's useful that you know that it exists. It is our sixth form study area. And again, hopefully that the sound of that kind of active hum is wafting out of the door. We have done the full loop of the school.
You've seen everything as we've seen it.
So, genuinely, we have 4 values here at the Embrook School, and I call them our fair values, which gives us a sort of sneaky 5th value. The values stand for family, ambition, integrity and respect. Family, I really hope you've got that sense of family here. We are all in this together, and that really does define the Embrook School. Ambition, we have moved so far as a school in the last 2 years since I became the head teacher. I'm really proud of what the team, the students, the parents, the staff have achieved in order to move the school on. And that ambition now permeates. We have high ambitions for all of our students. We've got one student approaching us that we don't want to be in this video because we don't know about his photo permission, so we're just going to do a twist on the spot there. Right, we're good. Ambition, so that permeates everything we're doing. And then the last 2 are 2 that really are so important to me, integrity and respect. If you are doing the right thing, if you are honest, and if you are showing your care for others and how you treat them, you can't go wrong as a person. And those values, I think, are really important to us here because they're going to prepare our young people for the next step. And yes, absolutely, we're all about pushing the academic success, and realising that success for all of the students, but also about making the whole person. And it's not just about exam results. Any school, all the schools in Wokingham are really good. So it's about choosing the school that feels right for you, your child, your family, and your situation. Thank you for joining me. Lovely job.
Hope you all enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see you face to face soon.
Yes, so do check onto our website. You can join one of our open evenings. There are meetings set up with me, and good luck with choosing.